7 names, no games as I run it down the line. We got Kenny Ken, put 100 on the T's with the streak for the cash. He ESPN, Seth Curry with the shot. In reality, he's more like Seth, but he's all we got. Up next is Gentleman Jack, better known as Junior Blue. We told him not to do it anyway, but he did what he do. To his right is Devin, that dude, Eldad or Dirt Ass Dan. Just don't ask him a question, cause then he'll answer your question with another question, and then he'll add another question on top of that question. Damn. And I'm Red O, the Buck Wild Problem Child.
Flow Butter, aka John Cutter.
It's the league ambassadors, and we playing to win. At the 2-yard line, and make no mistake, we running it in. Pete Carroll, we see you.
Thank you for visiting 32 Kings Road, hosted by the League Ambassadors. I'm Ambassador Kenny Ken, and it is my pleasure to be here today with my brothers. This is our final episode of Season 3 of our vodcast. As a reminder, you can follow us everywhere on social media. Our handle is @TheLeagueAM. That is Twitter, that is Facebook, and Instagram. Also, please check out our website, theleagueam.com. Where you can view previous episodes of this podcast, 32 Kings Road, as well as our secondary show, which will be kicking off during March Madness, Confirmation Bias. Also, please, if you are interested in blogging or writing about sports, check out our online blogspot, Diplomatic Immunity, which is a page on our website, theleagueam.com. Finally, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, League Ambassadors. Rate our channel, share our channel. We've got a good episode today. We've got a special guest that we're excited to have, our ambassador over in the UK, Ambassador Ryan Ingham. But before we get to that, we are going to go down and review Super Bowl 53, which was a bit of a snooze. I kind of actually expected that. We also I did snooze. We also will talk about the 2019 Hall of Fame class, the NFL awards, and the final coaching hirings. But first, in our What You Sippin' On segment, yes, we have Chief Diplomat Ryan Ingham. And we also got Pops. His dad is also here with us, and they are here. Folks, listen, they are live with us from England. I definitely see the honey jack. I believe it's 3:15 in the morning. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And they are alive and well. I love Junior Blue. Redo, do you love that jersey you see right there?
Exactly.
All day,
Lakers.
baby.
Lakers, baby.
Did you love it tonight? The 42-point ass whooping.
Hey,
You know what? You didn't even have to go.
I know.
Right. Why you bringing up
Just
all
'cause
shit?
you don't have a team.
You bringing up all shit.
I'm just telling the truth.
How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Good, we're good.
Yeah. So we have Ryan. This is becoming an end of the season custom because he is a New England Patriot fan.
Yeah.
And we had him on last year when the Philadelphia Eagles took care of the New England Patriots. And so it would only be right that we bring him on again after the New England Patriots defeated the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53 by the grand total of 10 points. The score was 13-3, which, you know, I thought it would be a boring game, but I definitely did not expect only 16 points to be scored.
Neither did Vegas. Yeah, exactly.
Right? The 3 points that the Rams scored ties the Super Bowl record for the lowest amount of points. And
Miami.
I mean, they didn't score a touchdown. There wasn't a touchdown scored in the first half. So with that, the first question that I have is we discuss this, and we will start with you, Diplomat Ryan and Pops as well. Was this the worst Super Bowl, putting bias aside if you can, and we struggle with it every week, was this the worst Super Bowl ever?
Well, the last time my team won was 1983 Raiders, so it's a long time. What it was for me.
Damn.
What it was for me, they always say, good D's win titles.
Yeah.
True.
Good
And that-
defense
this
wins championships, yeah.
That's it.
For me, it depends. I mean, what you're looking at is, if you're looking at as a realist of the fan of the sport, you're looking at the whole aspect. It's not the Patrick Mahomes show. It's not all offense. This was good head coaching, good defense. And I can't say the game's bad because one side of the ball worked really well. I thought it was a good game, but I am biased. The Patriots.
Now, Ryan, you say there was good coaching. I think it was on one side, though. Do you agree with that? Or do you think it was a chess match back and forth?
I think it was a bit of back and forth.
Really?
I thought Wade Phillips did quite well at negating a lot of the plays for the Patriots. They could have stormed away on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. He plugged that gap so many times that Brady looked angry in the second quarter. He couldn't get that game going. He wanted that sixth ring, and he just couldn't get it. So I can't say there was only one side, because at the end of the day, if there was only one side, the Patriots would have won by 50 points.
Well,
They got that fourth quarter.
I can agree with that. I guess you're talking more so about the coordinators. I was thinking about the head man in charge, because
Sean McVay.
I saw deer in headlights on one side of the field. But
no Teflon.
Right. I agree with you. I think that there was a masterclass in coaching that was done. We talked last week about how we rated this particular New England Patriots team, and the majority of us had them at the lower end.
Right.
Omar had them as number one, but for different reasons, which made sense. You know, it was the most. What was the word you used?
Most impressive.
Most impressive. But I think Bill Belichick is just fucking ridiculous.
This was definitely his best coaching job. Definitely. And Flores got a head coaching job because of partly of what he did over the last few weeks.
I think, I mean, but was it really surprising though, guys? I mean, I said, and we all, you know, no one.
What part's surprising? That they won, or
no,
the game?
the part that Belichick was able to, because listen, Sean McVay I think is a good coach, but as I've been saying, Jared Goff is not in. He's not even in the second tier of good quarterbacks. And you can't say that with 2 weeks to prep and with Jared Goff's sort of innate deficiencies and how much he relies on Sean McVay, that it was surprising that he was befuddled in such a way. And listen, a coach can only do so much.
The Patriots put it out there that they thought they would be able to do exactly what they did to him. They thought they would be able to confuse him.
Right.
They put it out there before the game, which means that shows you how confident they were.
Right.
That it was going to happen.
I mean, we saw Robert Kraft dancing with Cardi B. So.
But how boring does a game have to be that it's tied with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter and it's still a snooze fest? Like, for me, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't anywhere near the most exciting Super Bowl, but like, especially from a scoring standpoint. But from a football purist,
yes,
that defensive battle for 3 quarters was great. If you can appreciate that, then it was at the very least not something that was like bad to watch. It wasn't a blowout game. It wasn't, Seattle versus Denver or something like that.
We had that conversation at the house. Like, for me, I couldn't take my eyes off of the Seattle-Denver game because of the train wreck that it was. I couldn't believe that was happening. And it was impressive because I thought maybe Seattle had a chance, but then when they just blew the doors off of them, it was a different kind of a beast. This one, which I agree with Ryan, like, it was like, again, it was a masterclass in coaching. It was a football purist type of game, but it wasn't entertaining, and that's kind of what the Super Bowl has come to be.
No one has ever said it was entertaining.
Right? Yeah. But I like it to the there were some blowouts in the 90s that were just horrible to watch, but at least something was going on. At least you had Leon Lett, getting walked down or something happening. Like, nothing. Can you name a signature play from this game?
No, I agree. I think it's more, honestly, this was a game for me that came down to third downs. And like you said, Ryan, I think that the Rams defense, both defenses, Rams in particular, did a good job on getting stops on third downs. It wasn't about any sort of signature plays. It was just when it came to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 7, whatever the case may be, like, both defenses, they made stops. what for you, Ryan, was and I will open this up to everybody, what do you feel like was the deciding factor in the game? Because truth be told, in the second half, the Rams, they found a little something, and they were driving, they were moving the ball, and then I don't know. Was it for you? Was it the interception with Gilmore? Was that the deciding factor, or what do you feel like was the deciding moment in the game?
Gronk's pass. Well, Gronk's reception. Sorry, I think when you've had
on the touchdown drive.
The touchdown drive, yes, but it's specifically when Gronk caught that ball under duress, which has been his season of duress, and he's had so many claims against him, and he's not performed, and he's dropped catches. Well, you need your big players to step up, and Gronk stepped up. He got that ball. He landed on 2, and Sonny Michel did the rest. That was the deciding factor. Whoever scored the first touchdown in a very, very touchdownless game was good.
Did you feel that way? Did you feel that way as you were watching the game, that it was going to come down to whoever scored the touchdown first? Honestly?
Yeah, and I kept saying it, but I kept saying it under my breath as everyone started hitting on the fact that the Patriots probably were going to win this.
Kenyon, can we stop first and just fucking Patriots fans? He was under duress all season. Get the fuck out of here. This is the best franchise in NFL history. They have more fans than anybody. He parties year-round and decides to play for 4 games. Duress my ass. Jesus.
Well,
take a shot on that, sir.
Thank you. He act like they went through the Salem witch trials.
What'd you say, Ryan?
I mean, for that one, what I will say is you can say the best franchise, but if you don't turn up for work 10 days in a row, you turn up but you don't do any work. On that 11th day when you do work, is it noticed?
No, because we are fired on the 9th.
Black Lives Matter! What was for you, Junior Blue, the deciding factor in the game on Sunday?
Brandon Cooks being wide open in the back of the end zone, and Jared Goff being late.
Oh my God!
He was open from the jump.
Yeah,
and he should have hit him. There's no way McCourty should have been able to get over there.
Yeah,
because he was open from almost the hike.
Brandon Cooks. You know what? There were a lot of things. Which again, I wasn't surprised. This is the Jared Goff that I expected, but. There were so many opportunities in the game where he missed. It was clear.
Robert Woods had one.
It was clear that Jared Goff was a one-read quarterback on Sunday.
Yes,
he was a one-read quarterback, and basically they made a decision. They said, "Okay, either we go quick to the line." And I talk to you at the line and give you the instructions at the line, or we stay in the huddle longer, which is what they did, stay in the huddle longer so that the Patriots don't have time to make an adjustment. But either way, if you go with option B, which is what they did, it made Goff a one-read quarterback because he missed open receivers all day.
On the interception that he had to Gilmore, I'm sitting there watching the game, and they are all out blitz. You know it. You know it from the time they reach the line.
Zero blitz.
I'm sitting there. Why isn't there a slant? Why isn't there a screen?
Not even.
Why isn't there something?
Omar.
No, keep going. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there has to be a quick route here.
Well,
but no, it's all deep routes.
Well, we talked about this, but the biggest deciding factor for me was the inability for the Rams to make any adjustments or to show any sort of urgency. So you mentioned that they went with option B, which was staying in the huddle.
Yeah.
In this type of game, it's the fucking Super Bowl. It's fuck or walk.
Yeah.
You don't do anything urgent. You don't take any chances on 4th down. You don't change up your offense. There's no trick plays. And on the play that he threw the interception, Omar, what play did we say they should have ran?
Take a shot.
Screen.
Yes.
Like I'm sitting there watching.
We always like, oh my God.
I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, everybody.
Play action, right?
No, all they had to do was run a middle screen with the
they came right up the middle, and it was like, okay, throw the screen.
Throw it over the middle.
We're sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, everybody's at the line of scrimmage. You know they're coming. They've been blitzing the game.
Yeah.
Now he needed to have one audible.
The one thing I kept telling him was,
is the fact that McVay is he's allowing their defense to dictate the game instead of changing even the going up tempo, 2-minute offense, anything. Change some sort of tempo, which he refused to do, and that's the only reason why they lost the game.
But here's the thing, though. McVay knows what he has in golf.
Yeah, but you got to try something.
But
he could have. Patriots did exactly what they wanted to do, and you kept doing the same thing. You have to do something different.
Last week on the show,
that requires trust. You did.
They needed two different game plans.
Yeah.
They didn't even need 2 game plans. All they needed was an audible when they have an all-out blitz.
See,
that's it.
The answer to your question is my biggest deciding factor is simply before the game even started is they knew their opponent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
the game was over before it started.
The game was over before it started.
I have a question for Ryan. From a Patriots fan perspective, was there anything after the first quarter that bothered you about the game? Were you worried at all?
Yeah.
Ever concerned?
Like, were you ever concerned? Because you're saying, because you just said that you said to yourself, whoever scores a touchdown first will win the game. But as a Patriots fan, were you, to Devin's point, were you concerned about anything?
We've been predominantly running for quite a lot of the season. When that run game wasn't reaching the yards, when they were getting stopped by the defensive front, I thought, as game plan's gone, and I know Belichick's great at kind of changing the scheme and having second options. When he continued to run, I thought that's when we'd start to lose our edge and it would unravel.
Really?
That's interesting.
I had no concerns at all.
Neither did I. Did anybody?
I saw the look on the sideline's face. I saw the look on the
all we kept seeing
face.
it was looking at Goff's face, and it was blank.
all it was with Rams was a hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
That's all they had, because honestly, you looked at it and you were like, y'all can do this, and then it would be 3 and out.
The counters, so I know what you're talking about, because the Patriots came out, and it was like, oh shit, this is the exact game plan from 2 weeks ago, because they ran, I think, 5 out of their first 6 plays. They ran the ball and had success.
And the first pass they threw got picked.
Interception.
And that was Wade Phillips all the way.
But it was a great play. Yeah, it was a great play. It was he showed man and it actually dropped into a zone. The Rams made an adjustment to stop the run, but the play that was always there for them was a counter. It was a simple counter. It was allowing the tackles to get up the field, and then they ran a counter, and that play always hit the entire game. That, for me, was the story of the game, was that the counter was always there, and anytime Brady needed to throw, Edelman was always going to be available, or Gronk was always going to be available.
Did you see Barron shut White down, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Too bad nobody else was there.
You called that.
Red-O, what was your biggest surprise from the game?
Actually, truthfully, was the fact that the score was so low.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I thought the Patriots would win, hey, even saying that shit out loud, but
I'm not gonna say it
in mixed company. But the fact that the Rams didn't score a touchdown,
yeah.
Like
it's only happened 2 other times in Super Bowl history.
I would have bet all my money that they would have scored a touchdown.
A touchdown.
Yeah.
What was your biggest surprise, Ryan?
The Rams, just the run and the lack of it.
Dad, what was your biggest surprise? You got on a golf jersey, and I know you're not a Rams fan.
Raiders.
It's all about...
No, you can't speak without saluting your fellow Raiders partner. You got to salute him.
Where are we going to play next year?
Not San Francisco.
Whoa. Skid Row.
Not San Francisco.
Hey, London.
Yeah, you can play in London.
Hey, because the Bears is coming.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bears versus Raiders next year.
Let's go.
Right.
We're getting off topic now.
That game showed, for me, I've watched games since the late 80s, and it shows experience is worth so much. Golf, and they had little experience. And if they do it next year, this experience of a final at Super Bowl will bode well for them. They'll be probably a better team. The Patriots, when it comes to the bottom line, sometimes it don't come right, but 9 times out of 10, the Patriots win. And that's
9 times out of 18.
Hey, Lil Duval said it the best. The Rams IG was lit all week. They was at the club. They was enjoying Super Bowl week.
Yeah. And the Patriots was all business. Like
exactly.
Always.
They've been there before.
What was your biggest surprise, Junior Blue?
3 points for the Rams, 13 points for the Patriots.
So the scoring.
I mean, the scoring was just, all year we talked about the Rams defense. Mm-hmm. All year we talked about the Rams offense. Both of them flip-flopped in this game.
Yeah. Biggest disappointment, Dad?
I had 2. Well, disappointment or surprise?
Oh, you got a different surprise?
I do.
Threw a curveball.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
2. 1, I was really surprised that Belichick didn't go for it on 4th down to just end the game and decided to kick the field goal. Mm-hmm. I thought the way the game was going, they couldn't get anything going. You run the ball. Brady's got that 4th and inches 1,000 times in his career. You win the game. It's 10-3.
Hold on. So was it the fact that he went for it or the play call? Because I'm with you.
They kicked the field goal.
They kicked the field goal.
End of the game. The last field goal.
Yeah.
We were surprised when they
because
when
there was
they
only one timeout left. It was under 2 minutes.
Yep.
You run the play. You get it.
Game over at that point.
I feel like though at that point. I feel like at that point, though...
Either call is good, but I'm surprised Belichick, who's known for doing that, being aggressive, trying to outsmart everyone. He's the one that let the Giants score in the last Super Bowl they played early so they can try to get the ball back. So he's always outside of the box. The other thing was, you didn't hear a peep, not a whistle, not a murmur of the Defensive Player of the Year in the whole game.
He made one play.
Yeah, he threw down
He threw Brady to the ground like Brady was a 6-year-old.
You know what else?
But we talked about that using their aggressiveness.
There's
against
something
them.
else
and you saw them go up the field.
Yes,
and run right by
something else that the Patriots know that a lot of people don't have when it comes, like what Pop said, when it comes to experience is in the playoffs. The refs all season, the refs call the whistles totally different. One way, when you get to the playoffs, they get a little bit different. When you get to the Super Bowl, it's a little bit different. There's not a team that has more players who knows that more than the Patriots.
Yeah.
And they know how to play a game the way it's going to be reffed. And that is something that is not talked about enough.
That's interesting.
Because if you know it's going to be reffed, because some games, teams don't figure that shit out till halftime, depending on how they ref in the game, and then you make adjustments. Because that's an important thing.
Yeah.
So the Patriots know what they can get away with, what they can't get away with, because they know the Super Bowl is ref differently.
The NFL is not happy that you just made that point because the officials, and we've talked about it all year, the officials have had a really rough year, but I think you're absolutely right.
I mean, it's a flip between them and the kickers.
Dad, biggest disappointment from the Super Bowl for you?
The fact that the almighty, all-knowing Las Vegas bookkeepers got the total score wrong by 40-plus points.
Lord.
40 points.
Yeah.
They had it at 56 and a half.
Yeah, it was 56 and a half.
And it was 16.
Junior Blue?
Basically, that no Rams player, especially Aaron Donald, made a play to change the game.
Not a one.
Not one play. We didn't get a sack, strip fumble.
We had a strip fumble. It wasn't from him, but they recovered it.
Yeah. We didn't get Brandon Cooks taking the roof off on a cover. Nothing.
Well, he did.
He dropped.
We didn't get Goff hitting.
Yes,
no, but Goff did hit him, and he dropped it. You can give credit to Gilmore for being there, but it hit him in his fingers, his arms, and in his chest.
That's an exceptional play.
That's not as bad as the
missed
Goff
throw.
missing him?
No. Your Super Bowl. Who dropped it? The journeyman receiver.
It wasn't the Super Bowl.
Every receiver they've ever had.
Oh, the AFC. Yeah.
We don't speak his name.
We don't speak his. You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
It was in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah. Your biggest disappointment, Ryan.
Shit. Does he have one?
With the game, as a fan, with the game, we know the Patriots won. We know.
It was. I mean, yeah, I understand from the entertainment perspective. I know that the viewership figures have been a massive thing, and most of the reports coming out of the Super Bowl aren't about the success of the game or the success of an individual team who've done so much over a certain amount of period, whether they be the Patriots or another team. It's talking about that this is one of the lowest viewed Super Bowls. And I just feel like that negates any success any team could ever have. So I'd say the negative publicity after it, because no one wants to talk about a Patriots win, which is understandable, but then to just talk about that it's a declining sport when it's not for us. In the UK, this has become one of the highest sports, and with so much fan engagement, then how can it be dwindling?
The only reason why the which college are going down is because people are sick of seeing the Patriots win, and there is apathy to them winning, and because everyone knew they were going to win, and then you take it was a boring game. But I think it's easier for people to turn the TV off and look at something else if it's the Patriots again. And don't get me wrong, Patriots should be there every time they fucking win. But I hope they get the fuck out of here. And I hope that next year there's two different teams. I'm sorry, Ryan, but they need to go away.
I think you're going where I'm going, Devin.
Right,
go.
so the question that I have is this an indictment on the oversaturation in NFL? Because
too many days.
Too many days. There's 4 days a week where the game is being played. The NFL continue to fuck up on the social areas of the game, whether it's the Colin Kaepernick stuff or whether it's the
player safety
movement, player safety, all of that. They're on the wrong side of everything. So when you have this big event, which has almost become an American holiday, where we probably should have Monday off because of the amount of drinking and wings that we're eating over here in the U.S., where everyone's getting together. And it's a big event for the commercials. It's America at its best almost.
It's a cultural phenomenon.
Right. And then you put up this poor product after this whole entire season of the offense ruling. And we all know defense wins championships. Football doesn't change when it gets to December. And we get to a neutral site where there's no cold weather, none of that. And we have two offenses that have been known to run up and down the field, and we get a 13-3 stinker. Like, is this almost like the chickens coming home to roost because of all the shit that they've gotten wrong over the last few years, aside from expanding it to the UK?
You also got to add that nobody in New Orleans watched the game.
That, yes.
And
they had a protest.
They some busters, though.
Yeah.
They would have got their ass whipped, too.
But they had some real protests. No. You got
and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
You got Saints fans around the world. Like, if they're protesting, they're not watching the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but I want to see that game with a better quarterback.
For real.
To me, this was because Brady, to your point, Ryan, what you made, he was hella frustrated. Not just in the second quarter. After his interception, he was upset. But he was frustrated throughout the game. I would have liked to have seen a better quarterback that would have been able to deal intelligently with what the Patriots were throwing, or make the Patriots didn't have to work at all. But what I really feel like is interesting is this whole idea, because yes, coming out of the Super Bowl, all that was talked about was the fact that this was the lowest rated Super Bowl in 10 years. And people, were shitting on the halftime show, obviously shitting on the game, unless you are a football aficionado. And yet you have a sport that is actively trying to break through internationally. And so if what they hear internationally is that, oh, this was a terrible Super Bowl and it was bad, that has to be counterproductive for the growth of the game overall. That's an interesting point.
Well, Ryan, with you guys, you had an event basically where you watched the Super Bowl. How was the atmosphere or the thoughts during the game with, NFL fans and Patriot fans?
Superb. You see, there's so many different fans, different jerseys. It's a well organised event, big TVs, casino where you can walk off. It's a proper pucker, really good event, and everybody enjoyed themselves. And the game sometimes becomes secondary because it obviously we're a low scoring game, but everybody enjoyed themselves. And it's like I say, it's massive over here, lads. It's so big as NFL. It's really taking off. You just got to come over here, man.
Yeah.
I love Pops. Pops, it always ends with, you guys got to just get over here.
Hey, What I think is a misnomer is the fact that the game was a low-scoring game, which is the reason why it was low ratings. Because people don't turn off the Super Bowl.
Right.
They may do other shit around the house,
turn it off.
but they don't turn the game off. It was going to be a low-rated Super Bowl regardless.
I had 3 TVs with the game on.
Yeah. He did his part.
Yeah. All right. So Ryan, where do the Patriots go from here? What do you feel like are the moves that they need to make? They obviously tried to buy low on Josh Gordon. Didn't work out. And it is what it is. Tom Brady's already said he's coming back. Sony Michel is a young draft pick that they've got under the fold for a while. You know, Julian Edelman is going to be there. I believe Chris Hogan's still under contract.
Unless he fails another test.
Right. There's a question. There is obviously an outstanding question about Gronk. What are the optimal moves that the Patriots need to make so that they can be in contention yet again? Or do they not need to do anything because they're in the AFC East?
Well, because they're in the AFC East. That's just the truth. Like, you can get any head coach and any other quarterback from Miami or Buffalo or anything. They're still going to be dog. Like, I'm not worried. But
That's a damn shame.
And he right, though.
And he right.
Not lying.
In terms of, like, you know, the next season, we only have 24 players contracted next year.
Yeah.
So I know there's been moves for future contracts. So we've got the Danny Etling back, who they do still think a lot of. You know, he was somewhat good at LSU, so I don't think they'll still go for a quarterback this year. And there's a lot of talk saying they will. But I mean, Chris Hogan, he's actually out of contract. So Cordell Patterson is out of contract. I think it's about trying to see where we can get the best kind of like bang for our buck, because we need to make sure that we've got cap space, because if Tom restructures that deal, it's not going to be cheap. If Gronk says he's going to stay, it ain't going to be cheap. Julian's got 1 year left. They're not going to want to get rid of him. He's a squirrel. He's the best squirrel in the world.
He's a squirrel. The best squirrel in the world.
So I think looking at where because obviously there's going to have to be a lot of restructuring of deals. Gilmore's on a lot of money. Hightower's got 1 year left. There's going to be a $9 million cap hit.
Balled out, though.
McCourt is going to be another $9 million cap hit, and with 1 year left.
Which one? Which McCourty?
Yeah, which McCourty?
Devin.
Oh, Devin's good. Jason can go.
Yeah. Well, Jason was the one that ran 30 yards to take that ball out of Cook's hands.
And that's all he did this year.
If he saves a touchdown in a Super Bowl, for me, that is more than what he needs to do for his job that day.
It wasn't enough for Butler.
It wasn't enough for Malcolm Butler. So I have a question for you regarding the Patriots. So it's I have another Patriots fan in my job, and he's insufferable as well. But so you guys have a special teams dilemma, right? So you got a punter who you just brought in, which you probably will bring back because he was good. But then you have Gostkowski, or however you fucking say that.
Yeah.
He's been there since Vinatieri in 2006. Jesus. He has been known. He's been one of the greatest kickers in the NFL history.
He shanked that first one. I know you had butterflies after that first field goal.
He missed another field goal in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. Do you leave that alone, or do you bring him back?
I dare you.
He's too expensive.
Let him go?
That's the biggest thing. You're going to have to. Like, I think Bill always knows when a player's kind of out of that deal where he's going to start dropping down and underperforming. And I think he's been a year late on Gostkowski.
Ooh.
So,
he would still be the best kicker the Bears ever had.
Robbie Gold's pretty good.
Oh, he's
Redo,
coming back.
you take me right now.
Exactly. Do you play soccer?
I think as long as we keep Matthew Slater another year, we'll take heads and we'll take the ball. That's all that matters for us.
Hey, he is a borderline Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir.
It's another Tasker.
Yeah.
Tasker's got to get in first.
Tasker's not?
Steve Tasker?
Tasker's in.
I think Tasker's in.
Is he in?
I think Tasker's in.
Okay. Yeah, Slater's the next one then.
Man. Because he don't have to do nothing else but suit up on those 10 plays a game.
Yeah.
And he make, what did he have, like 6 tackles?
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, it was a special teams game.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do the Rams go for here, guys? I mean,
well, see,
I'll go to you, Junior Blue.
He's not a Hall of Famer. Steve Tasker is not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, that's what I said. So Tasker's got to be first.
Yeah. Okay,
and then we go Slater. Where do the Rams go for here, Junior Blue?
Linebackers. The core is signed through next year.
Yes.
Are they?
Except for Sue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
He's not a core.
Joyner's not.
He's a core. Joyner's not either, yeah.
But Joyner is the one you have to sign, right?
Exactly.
You don't have to.
I mean,
you have to sign Joyner.
You franchised him last year, and he was.
Donald is signed. Gurley is signed. Their core is signed. Goff is signed.
Cook is
signed. Exactly. Cook is
Cup
signed.
would
Their
be back.
core
Their
is signed.
core is signed.
Sue is replaceable.
It's either Sue or Fowler, and I think you would rather go with the younger one and Fowler.
So I think they
that.
need linebackers because that was part of the reason that they couldn't stop the run. They were playing safeties at linebacker. Barron did a great job against James White, but when you run the ball up the middle and your two defensive tackles are rushing up the field trying to get a sack,
Littleton balled out, though.
It's all about your linebackers.
Well.
So they need to draft a linebacker, and I think if they just pieces. They need to get Cooper Kupp back. They need pieces.
In a real way.
It ain't been the same since Kupp left.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. This is where Snead earned his paycheck.
Okay.
Because
I think he earned it last year.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But this year he has to be a capologist.
They have to. More than that.
Because he has to restructure maybe 3 or 4 contracts.
No.
Cut a couple people just to get $20 million. You know what I mean?
No. More than that, they have 39 players under contract.
Come on, talk to me,
And
Dev.
they have $39 million.
Come on,
in cap
talk to me,
space.
Dev.
He's got to do more than that.
But listen, the NFL cap is the most pliable cap in sports history.
Yes.
If you know what you're doing, you can restructure 4 or 5 players and come up with another $30 million.
So
if you know what you're doing.
Here's some restructuring. They won't lose any dead money if they get rid of their starting corners. They can save 8 with letting Peters go, or is it Talib? One of them.
But they got to keep one.
Yeah, you got to keep
one. There was only one worth keeping.
It was only one worth. Yeah.
Well, here's the real question, and I'll go to my UK friends for this. Okay, because here's what I'm saying. Here's what I've been saying. True story. And I wish Coach Joe was here because he would attest to this. I said when it came down to the draft, whatever draft it was, I said, listen, I'm a Rams fan for real. If they take Carson Wentz. They took Jared Goff.
I remember you saying that.
The question I have is this: is what the hell are you doing with Jared Goff?
Nothing.
You know you can't win. Hey guys, can you win with Jared Goff? Can you win the big game with Jared Goff?
Yes, you can.
Oh, folks, please watch the video of this podcast because that was a moment right there. Father and son just had a moment.
They disagree.
Pops, I'm listening to you.
Right. The reason you look, Wentz is always injured. His his record is shocking. He's always getting injured and he's out for times. Goff, he's a young man. He'll grow and he'll become a better quarterback.
Okay, Pops, all I'm saying is this. That was the debate in my head 3 years ago. We talking about 2020, 2019, 2020. And what I'm asking you, and I'm going to ask you again, can you win it all with Jared Goff?
Intellect won't grow.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, the true answer.
So I was making sure that Goff isn't in the Lakers trade for Anthony Davis.
Hey, he might be though. He might be.
He might be.
For sure is. Hey, if the first round pick is in there, Jared Goff.
Oh my God. Only family.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Listen, Ryan.
So obviously that's not going to happen, but no, they won't. I don't think it's a case of Goff isn't skilled enough to get them there because they wouldn't have had a 10-0 start to the season if he didn't have the skills. I think going back to what the Rams do, because I think like Kenyon and Junior said 2 really good things. One, linebackers. I think Barron negated James White, which no one has seemed to have done ever. Like it's very rare you can see someone take out a receiving running back and negate that play for an entire game. So I think Quan Alexander, his deal's out at Tampa. Can they bring him back in time? Jameis is going to cost them a lot of money. Could they then do what they did last year and go straight back into a win now and hope the defense can kind of get them there and pray that Goff can actually throw a pass? It might happen. You never know.
Yeah, but Goff did throw passes this season. He didn't throw him, of the Super Bowl, but all season he was doing the business. Simple as. And he didn't. For one game, you cannot punish a player just for one game. It was his first Super Bowl. Give the lad a chance.
We can punish him for being a retard.
Whoa. That's not what we were going for.
That's not what we were going for, Omar.
Damn.
Hold on. Hold on. I
Oh.
apologize. We can punish him for being special needs. That's not better.
Yeah, that's Honey Jack. I mean, that's Gentleman Jack talking.
Gentleman Jack. We know how that goes on final shows.
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
All right, let's get off of the Super Bowl.
Oh, we done now?
Yeah, we done.
Okay.
Yeah, we done. Listen,
Hey,
you guys want to
Jared.
stay with us and we'll finish out the show? Let's go.
All
okay,
right, cool.
so let's go to Football T. Brother Mike, our final chance. Football T, hot topics. First of all, let's start with the 2019 Hall of Fame class.
Yes, let's start with that.
Let's start with that. We've got Ed Reed. Let me see if I'm right. Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, who we knew. We've got Kevin Mawai and Ty Law.
Yep.
And then
Pat
on
Bowlen and Gil Brandt.
we've got yes.
Pat Bowlen. Yeah.
What? Say the name again.
Pat Bolden.
Pat
Bowlen.
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 Oh, Bowlen. My bad.
Hey, Omar.
Yeah, he's a
Hey, Kenyon. He doesn't remember his name either.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Stay with me.
That's so bad.
Stay with me.
Okay.
This one's for John.
This one's for John. Okay, so
right, let's move
listen,
on.
let's
Sorry.
move on.
Sorry,
So
Devin.
here we go. It's your fault, Devin. So we'll start first with Ed Reed. Okay, I think probably
Mike, you gotta.
the best real free safety to ever be
You ain't
elected
got it, Mike.
into the Hall of Fame. Devin, from someone that is from Baltimore, not just a Ravens fan, but you are from Baltimore, talk about what Ed Reed meant to not only that franchise, but that city, and why he's the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Ed Reed is a first ballot Hall of Famer because he is arguably the best safety to ever play. He's no doubt the best free safety to ever play the game. He is someone that all quarterbacks and all offensive coordinators had to know where they were. Tom Brady had to write on his wristband, find 20. He had to look at it every single play to look and think to know where Tom Brady is. When you look at the first ever Football Life, when they did Bill Belichick, and they followed him for that season, and they had a meeting with Brady and Belichick, and they're watching the Ravens tape because they were going to play the Ravens in the AFC Championship in 2011, and they're just like, God, look at him. almost like it was like the slave trade.
Yeah.
Look at him. And Bill Belichick said,
he gonna produce 4 or 5 little young new bucks.
Bill Belichick said that Ed Reed might be the best football player that he's ever seen. And he said if he ever coached Ed Reed, he would have never taken him off of special teams.
And we all know Belichick is full of shit. I'm just saying.
Is he? Because he also said Randy Moss is one of the smartest football players. And
he's full of shit.
He's not. Okay, says you.
Come on, son.
Redo.
Belichick will shake your hand.
Redo, this was an ode to Ed.
Oh, my bad. You're right. Ed is nice.
You know what? Nah, fuck that. Go ahead. Nah, fuck
First
that. I'm
ballot
offended.
Hall of Famer.
I'm offended. We ain't say shit about Urlacher and these Lance Briggs days.
He got his jersey on, Redo. What are you doing?
No. Come on, man. He ain't the best football player ever played. Let's stop that.
He just said what Belichick said.
I get it, unless I call bullshit. But Ed Reed is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That don't make him the best football player ever played. Let's not go there.
Watch this. Magic pivot right here. Stay with me. I know we talking about the Hall of Fame class, but I come to you, Ryan. Where is Tom Brady in the greatest football players of all time? Is he top 10?
Yeah.
Is he top 5?
That's
top one.
Top one. I'll take that.
Wow.
No, he's top 5.
He is top 5.
I'd say he's top 5.
This is a tribute to Red O. Give me your top 5.
On the spot.
On the spot.
You're not talking to me. You're talking to him, right?
I am talking to him. I know.
Okay. You said tribute to Red O. That's what.
It's a tribute
Ryan,
because
who's
this
your
is a
top
question.
5
Give me
NFL
your top 5
players ever. Tom Brady's one of them.
Ooh, that's tough.
You said it. No. You can't come on here and talk that shit. He don't come on here and talk that shit. You better back it up.
Jerry
top
Rice
5.
gotta be in the top 5.
Jerry Rice.
Is I'm shitting on getting off the pot? I'm gonna defer.
I'll give you 5.
Yes.
Well, from my experience, Riggins,
Oh,
Allen,
Marcus.
Name
it.
Brady,
Really?
and Marino.
they might be the
Damn.
5 most important.
That's a hell of a 5, Pops.
The first 3 were probably the most important.
So you don't even put Jerry Rice in there at all.
So Jerry Rice is not one of your top 5? This show's about to go off the rails.
Let's not. I'm gonna give that man his reverence due.
I'm listening.
We all
It's his
disagree.
opinion.
We are listening, Pops.
The thing is, these are players I've watched from when I first started watching NFL. Riggins, Marino. I suppose can I have a sub Montana? Because
I'll let you do that.
Kind of players,
I
and
agree.
they just blow your mind away. And the players what I've mentioned made me love this game so much and got the interest going, and that's why they stick in my head. And I'm an old man, so that's why I'm sticking in the head.
No, and that's it. And that's interesting because I feel like if you're starting to talk about top football players of all time, I do think that's one of the criteria is when you think about the NFL, who pops into your head.
Right.
Is Brady top 5 for you, Redo?
No, mainly because there's not a Patriot player who ever lived that I would put in the top 5.
Okay.
But just like his was emotional, you know, like you got to go. For me, the only emotional pick I do have is Joe Montana.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite quarterback of all time. But if you don't put Jerry Rice in there, you don't put Walter Payton in there, you don't put Jim Brown in there.
Right.
Those are 3 off the top of the head. Like the second best wide receiver statistically is Terrell Owens.
Right.
But I don't even put him in my top 5.
Yeah.
You know, so like it can be emotional, and that's okay.
Is Brady in your top 5, Dad?
Football players?
Yeah.
See, I'm one of those people who.
Okay, let's make it easy. Is he top 10?
Yeah, he's top 10.
Is he top 5?
That's hard.
Because you're not gonna put the Mr. Raven in there.
No. Take emotions out of it.
I'm talking about 52.
He's talking about 52.
No, I know you're talking about. But it's hard because one, I will say that Tom Brady is probably the best winner in NFL history.
Right.
Okay.
Like it's debatable. People can debate that.
So is Tom Brady the Bill Russell? Oh, watch this.
Yeah.
Is the Bill Russell of the NFL?
There you go.
Tom Brady is the Bill Russell of the NFL, Junior Blue?
No. I think he's top 5, and I hate saying that.
You think he's top 5?
I think he's top
Give me
5.
your
Wait,
5.
hold the fuck on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Say it again.
You got the 2 Raider fans?
Yeah, I would say he's top 5. I mean, what else does someone have to do?
Give me
He
your
has
5.
numbers. Jerry Rice is in there.
Okay.
Barry Sanders is in there.
I said that. Ooh.
Yeah, quitter.
Tom Brady. He's 3. Shut up. Go home. Omar, you're done. Omar's done. Omar's done.
Quit that, motherfucker.
I mean, Jim Brown. You can't put Jim Brown in there then.
Okay, 4.
4. I mean, that's
Lawrence Taylor. I'm happy out. Lawrence Taylor.
That's 4.
Okay, and who's 5?
5 would I have to go with Mr. Raven.
Ray Lewis. So Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, Tom Brady,
And Barry Sanders.
and Barry Sanders.
Hey.
Where's Jim Brown?
He's on the outside looking.
Exactly.
Where's Emlyn?
Ooh,
Who?
Emlyn Tunnel.
Hamlin Tunnel.
Shout out to Emlyn Tunnel. Hey, that's a tough one, but because for me it's Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Barry Sanders.
I said Barry too.
Yeah.
Quitter.
Ooh, and then
It's not easy.
Reggie White.
Okay.
God damn.
I heard that name.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Is Brady in that? That's the
man. I mean,
because here's the thing: is Brady the best quarterback ever?
No, he's not the best quarterback ever.
Is he the best quarterback ever, Dad? Dad says yes.
In my era.
Yes.
In my era.
Right. You're an authority here.
I have never seen a player who just does it like that. Simple as.
I have his name is Joe Montana.
What would Tom Brady have to do to be the best quarterback ever?
I don't know, because he's going to be top 3 in everything.
Everything.
And number 1 in
rings.
Super Bowls.
So, I mean, I don't understand what
he's
that
number 1
man
in
has
rings.
to do.
He's number 1 in rings.
As far as quarterbacks, I don't think he's the best quarterback, because to me, I think if Dan Marino is a Patriot, Dan Marino has 10 Super Bowls.
I say the same thing with Warren Moon. I say the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I say, like, there are people,
but Tom. Hey, I don't want this to be a slight on Brady, because Brady, you have to give him his credit.
What's your statement with ifs?
Ifs and buts for Kansas and nuts, Christmas be every day.
Shout out to Norman Johnson. Okay, so now that we went down that rabbit hole, which I think it's an interesting conversation. Real quick, rapid fire. Did they get this Hall of Fame class right, Red-O?
Yes.
Dad?
I'm just going to say this. I still don't understand why Steve Atwater and John Lynch aren't in the Hall of Fame.
I don't understand why Tony Baselli's not in the Hall of Fame.
I do.
I say they did.
Isaac Bruce.
Listen, I thought we was rapid fire, but since we not, this shit ain't the Hall of Good, it's the Hall of Fame. If you can't, like, if your stats weren't better than Terrell Owens, shut the fuck up and sit down and wait your turn.
So Tony Baselli's not better than Kevin Mawai?
He only played 5 years.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame who wouldn't make it today into, like, the Hall of Fame. You don't give me the Hall of Fame from the past.
But coming into this Hall of Fame, Junior Blue, and I'll go to you, coming into this Hall of Fame, we knew that the backlog was with offensive linemen.
Yep.
Right.
And you're telling me of Mawai, Tony Baselli, Hutchinson, Mawai's the best of that group? Because because my point is saying that is to say that an offensive lineman has got to be in this class. Kevin Mawai's the one you're going with?
Over Hutchinson.
I mean, Baselli was a beast, but like
5 years.
5 years.
It's not long enough.
Gale Sayers, Terrell Davis.
Gale Sayers was on another level than Baselli was when they played.
UK? Did they get it right?
Yeah, I understand with Ty Law, but
which, by the way, deserves to be in.
Barely.
Yeah. Willie McGinnis is one for me that
Willie's not getting in.
I'm waiting to hear that he'll go in.
Willie's not going to get in.
It's only a matter of time. It was put into the group for this year. I'm quite surprised he wasn't put through for it.
Seymour neither. He's not getting in.
Length of service gets disrespected way too often.
Okay.
Baselli has 5 years is not enough.
But Gale Sayers and Terrell Davis is in there. That's all I'm saying.
Because Gale Sayers and Terrell Davis did things that no one else had done.
Tony Baselli was the best left tackle in football.
He wasn't. There were two other tackles that were better than him. Orlando Pace and Jonathan Ogden were better than him.
He should have played running back.
All right. NFL awards. Did they get that right? NFL awards. We got Patrick Mahomes, MVP. We've got Matt Nagy, that was the coach of the year. Rookie of the year was Saquon on offense. Rookie of the year on defense was Darius Leonard. Defensive player of the year was Aaron Donald. Did they get it right, Junior Blue?
I think we called all of them. I would have liked to see a split with Derwin James, though.
I thought, and here's the question. If you're on a team that's 1 in, what were they? 1 in 6, 8, something like that? 1 in 5?
Uh-huh.
Because you led the league in tackles, that quantifies you as being the defensive player of the year over someone like Derwin James, who made an impact.
Rookie defensive player of the year. I agree. Derwin James.
I mean, they still were a playoff team.
That's my point. Like this,
the eyeball test.
Yes.
Yeah, he tackled everything.
Yes.
Derwin James was like. Guys,
like I said, I would not
have been mad if Derwin James won, but you can't sit there and say he was that much better than my man. He was not.
What's your man's name?
Man, I am
Darius.
drunk. Darius Leonard, God damn it. And I think he should have been executive of the year.
He's still tripping. UK, did they get it right?
Indy.
The thing is, it breaks my heart, but Mahomes, because he's the same as Raiders. Yeah, but as an impact, he was incredible.
Yeah,
fantastic. What he can do with the ball is incredible for a young man.
Yeah,
brilliant, absolutely. So, Donaldson, you can't argue with his figures. Yes, pretty good. And I still think this season has been a great season, a really good season.
Yeah,
really good season.
Hey,
yeah, I can't disagree.
You got the same. Ryan and Pops, I have a question because we had some people that was commenting on when we gave out the awards on our show about the MVP vote because certain people view it differently because different sports actually cast the award differently. Do you think that Mahomes deserved that? Because some people argue that Breeze deserved it because he made more plays in the bigger games. And sometimes it wasn't him actually making the plays, but their team won. But like Mahomes was 5-5 in one-score games. Do you think that his stats outweighed that?
We have our Premiership player of the year, right? Is voted by his professionals. Is the players who play the game. Now, I think if you want a most valuable player, should it come from the players? Because those who work with them.
Yeah.
And
here we have writers do it, and they have fucking
agendas.
Yeah, best way to put it.
That's an interesting point, and it's actually one that we've talked about here.
It should be players. You can't vote for anyone on your team.
And I feel like that's what I think all popular American sports, they've got to get right. Because I agree with you, and I think most fans agree with you, Pops, in that when you talk about determining who the best players are in a given season, it should be the players that actually play the games.
Against them.
Because they have to go against them. I agree with that. Okay, so real quick, the last two teams that needed to hire coaches, and this is not new news. We knew this actually weeks ago, but the Miami Dolphins hired Brian Flores, who was the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. They hired them as the head coach. And then the Cincinnati Bengals.
Keep going.
The Cincinnati Bengals hired Zach Taylor.
You messed up my joke.
What's the over and under on that hire?
Oh my God.
Forever, because he's cheap. He probably's not getting $1 million a year to be the head coach. Zach Taylor, he was the quarterback coach for the Rams. He is now the head coach.
He tied McVay's shoes once.
Yeah. At 35 years old, he is the head coach. He's the head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was the quarterback coach for the Los Angeles Rams. So, we'll leave that there. We know how that's going to end out. I think where we want to end is here. Carson Wentz, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles ended their season, and they came right out and said, listen, Wentz is going to be our quarterback. They've made some moves. Nick Foles has made some moves. This is all premeditated, predetermined. They're going to trade Nick Foles to the highest bidder that gives the best draft pick. Nope. It's going to be Carson Wentz as the quarterback. Carson Wentz comes out in response to an article that came out 2 weeks ago that talked about there were anonymous Philadelphia Eagles players that said he was selfish. They said that there were certain plays that he ex-nayed because those were quote-unquote Nick Foles plays. They questioned his ability as a leader. He came out to the press. He didn't necessarily deny the report.
No.
But he went out and he explained some things. Mm-hmm. He said that, listen, everybody, no one is perfect. Everybody is guilty of being selfish. There are opportunities for him to grow, but at the same time, he understands what the bigger picture is. He's here for the team. The question I have for everyone here is, because Philadelphia came out and said, listen, you're our guy, did he really need to say anything at all?
Can I go first?
Yes, Redo.
He Liam Neeson this shit.
Got out in front of it.
He came out for no goddamn reason. He said, I just want to beat some black people ass. Like, no one asked you.
Yeah.
Just shut up and play football.
Because London Fletcher, Chris Long, and I forgot who the third one was. Oh, Lane Johnson.
It wasn't London Fletcher. That's
You're
like
right.
6.
You're right.
I don't even think he played for the Eagles.
He's like my age.
Yeah.
London Fletcher, I put all the fame.
You're right. Hey, that was the Cabernet Sauvignon.
With my pinky out.
Oh, but yes, the leaders of the team came out and spoke and said that.
But I disagree.
Okay.
I think he needs
to say that. You disagree with Omar?
I disagree.
Because
the simple fact that this is 2019 and people are going to pick apart everything. And if you don't say anything, those questions are going to linger. Those 3 people that came out, one of them not being London Fletcher. They're going to continue to be asked.
Or Fletcher Cox.
Yeah. It was Fletcher Cox, actually. It was Fletcher.
It was a Fletcher.
He was close.
He was almost there. But I think if you are the guy, you have that conversation and you try to take the onus on yourself so we can fucking move on. Now, it may be
to kill the story.
There may be some questions, but not as many if he doesn't say anything. And not as many if he waits until August to say something.
Junior Blue.
He didn't have to say anything. I think him saying something actually gave it validity.
Gave it oxygen.
And then if you
why not own up to it though?
If you read his statement, it was like, yeah, I could have been better. So he was saying basically
that
it was
the story
true.
was right.
Yeah.
So I mean, what? I'm the guy though. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna do better.
Shut the fuck
up.
I'm
24.
Shut the fuck up.
He
and
has,
he's blown over.
The organization has his back. No one was thinking about this shit. The organization has your back.
Because motherfuckers, if they know it's true and they hiding it and he in the huddle and you ain't never own up to it.
UK, what do you feel about it?
So with this one, I think you said it I think it was last week or the week before, that if there was nothing to this story, so many people wouldn't have come out and said something. So to continue to add fuel to this fire, he didn't have to say anything, but it's just going to go straight into the offseason now when they've got one of the biggest rebuilds, one of the tightest salary caps. They've got enough going on in the front office to then start talking about this, and it's not going to go away with him speaking about it. The Super Bowl's just happened. If they even had just said nothing, no one would have spoke about it. It'd have gone. It would have been an off-season story. It'd have been silence. It'd have been on to Nick Foles, on to what's going to happen. I do think, though, Kenyon, he's going to actually leave in free agency and pay his $2 million back because they can't afford the $20 million they need to pay him.
Right.
So it looks more likely now that he's actually just going to leave.
He already said
he bought himself out.
It was an agreement. He's going to buy himself. He's going to buy himself out, but the Eagles are going to franchise tag him. And
try and trade
it's
him.
Not try. They will trade him.
I mean,
to get value back for him. That's Howie Roseman. working the system. That's a great place to land. Listen, this has been a great season of 32 Kings Road. First of all, Ryan, thank you. Pops, thank you. Golf clap for you guys.
Can I say something before we get out of here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like where we started this season, like the Ravens. Like, only thing they got to worry about is Ozzie Newsome is not there anymore.
Yep.
I feel something.
For you, you quit your team.
Yep.
But your true team,
yeah,
they are losing 5- and 4-star recruits like faster than you can say fight on. And
I feel
and then we got the Raiders. And they are just
homeless.
The San Francisco Raiders are just
no.
San Francisco said nah.
Yeah.
They can still play there. They just can't make any money.
No. 49ers said y'all can't play.
No, we own the rights.
We own the rights to San Francisco.
Shit show.
Okay.
Who would have thought we would have ended this season as the Bears being
the stable franchise?
Yes.
That's all we wanted to get to.
Oh, all day.
Listen.
Cheers.
This has been a good season. I think it's perfect that we end the season with you, Chief Diplomat Ryan.
One more time, the Cabernet is
Cabernet.
We ended the season with you, Chief Diplomat. And
one more time.
One more time.
Yeah, third time this time.
Chief Diplomat.
There you go.
Ryan.
Hey, tell Savage 21 we said hi.
Wow. Shout out to 21 Savage. Yeah, we found out about him. We will definitely be there next year. And listen, Okay, listen, that's exactly right, Devin. We said it last year. Listen, we were going back to London. We know we're going back to London because it's Raiders versus Bears. But for the Super Bowl, we are going to be in Leeds. At the casino. We thank you guys. Listen, this has been another episode of 32 Kings Road. Again, follow us everywhere on social media. Our handle is @TheLeagueAM. That's Twitter, that's Facebook, that's Instagram. We are going to be on Twitch. Listen to this. We're going to hit Twitch. We're going to do a 24-hour marathon for March Madness. Be on the lookout for that. We're coming back with confirmation bias. We will see you in a few weeks. Last words, Pops, Ryan.
Ready as Thanos.
You should have went for the head.
Cheers, guys.
Let's get rid of Gruden.
Already.
Junior Blue, you with that?
That's swallowing 90 million. But it's not my 90 million.
We will see you in a few weeks. Cheerio. League ambassadors.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Kev, call AAA.
7 days, no games as I run it down the line. We got Kenny Ken put 100 on the tees with the streak for the cash. ESPN. Seth Curry with the shot. In reality, he's more like Seth, but he's all we got. Up next is Gentleman Jack, better known as Junior Blue. We told him not to do it anyway, but he did what he do. To his right is Devin, that dude, Eldad or Dirt Ass Dan. Just don't ask him a question, cause then he'll answer your question with another question, and then he'll add another question on top of that question. Damn. And I'm Red O, the Buck Wild Problem Child.
Flow Butter, aka John Cutter.
It's the league ambassadors, and we playing to win at the 2-yard line. And make no mistake, we running it in.